Do this once, and you will notice a shift so profound, so powerful, that the world around you will begin to change. The way people treat you will completely transform, and the respect you've always wanted will suddenly come your way. It's simple. It's easy. It's one small change that has the power to turn your life into something entirely new. What is this one thing? It's not about changing who you are or pretending to be someone else. It's not about manipulating people or seeking approval. This one thing is about claiming your own value, your own worth, and showing the world you are worthy of respect. It's about creating a magnetic force that pulls respect and admiration into your life without saying a single word. This is about self-respect. The first and most important lesson you will ever learn in life is that if you want people to treat you with respect, you must first treat yourself with respect. It all begins with how you see yourself. People treat you the way you treat yourself. If you're constantly putting yourself down, doubting your abilities, and playing small, people will mirror that behavior. They will treat you the way you treat yourself, like you don't matter, like you're invisible. Self-respect is the foundation of how we interact with the world and how the world interacts with us. It is not a luxury or something that is given to us as a reward for doing something good. Self-respect is an inherent aspect of our being, a principle that shapes not only how we see ourselves, but also how others perceive us. When we treat ourselves with dignity, kindness, and understanding, we communicate to the world that we are worthy of respect. But when we undervalue ourselves, when we show the world that we don't think we are worthy of respect, others will mirror that belief and treat us accordingly. At the heart of self-respect is the understanding that we deserve to be treated with kindness, fairness, and integrity. It is the acknowledgement of our own worth, regardless of external validation or opinions. People who have self-respect do not seek permission to exist or to take up space in the world. They know they have value and they act in a way that reflects that knowledge. When you truly respect yourself, your actions, words, and behavior will emanate with that understanding. It isn't about arrogance or narcissism. It's about knowing that you have inherent worth simply because you are you. Self-respect begins with how we think about ourselves. Our thoughts shape our feelings, and our feelings drive our actions. If you constantly think negatively about yourself, if you believe that you aren't good enough, that you are unworthy of love, or that you have no value to offer the world, that belief will be reflected in how you behave. You will shrink back from opportunities, allow others to walk all over you, and hide your true potential out of fear of rejection or failure. The key to breaking this cycle is changing the way we think about ourselves. Self-respect requires a shift in mindset. It requires us to replace negative self-talk with affirmations of our value, to recognize our strengths and achievements, and to embrace our flaws as part of what makes us human. When we change the way we think, we change the way we feel. And when we change the way we feel, we change the way we act. Self-respect also involves taking responsibility for our actions and choices. We are responsible for how we allow others to treat us. No one can disrespect us without our consent, whether that disrespect is overt or subtle. If we allow people to belittle us, disregard our boundaries, or treat us unfairly, we are not honoring ourselves. On the flip side, when we stand up for ourselves, when we set healthy boundaries, and when we refuse to accept mistreatment, we are asserting our self-respect. It is essential to remember that self-respect isn't just about how we treat ourselves when things are going well, but also how we handle adversity and challenges, even in difficult times. Maintaining self-respect means refusing to compromise on our core values and standing firm in our beliefs. It means not allowing anyone or anything to convince us that we are less than worthy. The impact of self-respect extends far beyond our personal lives. It affects how we interact with others and how they respond to us. When we treat ourselves with respect, we set a standard for how others should treat us. People tend to treat us the way we treat ourselves, and if we hold ourselves in high regard, others will often mirror that behavior. However, if we constantly put ourselves down, tolerate mistreatment, or disregard our own needs, others will often follow suit. We teach people how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves. The better we treat ourselves, the more likely others will treat us with kindness, fairness, and respect. Self-respect is contagious. When we surround ourselves with people who respect themselves, it inspires us to do the same. Just as negative behavior can be contagious, positive behavior is equally powerful. When we respect ourselves, we encourage others to respect themselves as well. This creates a ripple effect, fostering a culture of respect and understanding that transcends individual relationships and spreads throughout communities, workplaces, and even societies. It's a powerful cycle. When you treat yourself with respect, you encourage others to do the same, and in turn, they will treat you with the same level of respect. Self-respect also means not allowing others to dictate our worth. In today's world, many people seek validation from external sources, whether that's through social media, relationships, or societal standards. We often look to others to tell us that we are good enough or deserving of success. But relying on external validation is a dangerous path because it puts our worth in the hands of others, which is something we cannot control. True self-respect comes from within. It's about acknowledging our worth without needing anyone else to tell us that we are worthy. It's about recognizing that we are valuable, not because of what others think of us, but because of who we are as individuals. The more we value ourselves, the less we rely on others to validate our existence. Self-respect is also about forgiveness, not only forgiving others, but forgiving ourselves. We are all human and we all make mistakes. When we hold on to guilt, shame, or resentment, we are not treating ourselves with the respect we deserve. Part of respecting ourselves is acknowledging that we are not perfect, but that we are still deserving of love, understanding, and kindness. Letting go of past mistakes and forgiving ourselves allows us to move forward with a sense of freedom and self-worth. The more we practice self-respect, the more we come to realize that we are not defined by our past actions, other people's opinions, or societal expectations. We are defined by how we see ourselves and how we choose to live our lives. Self-respect empowers us to take control of our destiny, to pursue our dreams without fear of judgment, and to live authentically. It is the cornerstone of all other relationships with ourselves and others. When we respect ourselves, we teach others to do the same, and we create a world that is more compassionate, understanding, and respectful. In the end, self-respect is not just a personal matter, it is a reflection of how we engage with the world around us. It determines how we interact with others, how we respond to challenges, and how we move through life with purpose and conviction. By respecting ourselves, we not only improve our own lives, but also inspire others to do the same. The path to being treated with respect by others begins with the decision to treat ourselves with respect first. It is the most powerful choice we can make, and it is the foundation of everything we do. When you start valuing yourself and carrying yourself with confidence, something incredible happens. People start to treat you differently. Confidence is not just about how you appear to others, but about how you feel about yourself. It's an inner strength that radiates outward, affecting the way others perceive and interact with you. Confidence isn't something that can be faked or manufactured. It's a natural byproduct of recognizing your own worth and embracing who you are, flaws and all. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and even your body language sends a powerful message to those around you. Confidence is contagious, and when you walk into a room with your head held high, shoulders back, and a sense of purpose, people can't help but take notice. They start to treat you with the same level of respect and admiration that you give to yourself. It's not about trying to impress others or seeking their approval. It's about setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. When you carry yourself with confidence, you are silently telling the world that you won't accept anything less than respect. Confidence in yourself is the key to breaking the cycle of self-doubt and insecurity that often holds us back. We all have moments when we question ourselves, but the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is their ability to push past those doubts and move forward with certainty. When you trust yourself, you believe in your abilities, and you recognize your own potential, you start to project that belief outwardly. People can sense that energy, and they begin to treat you as someone who is competent, capable, and worthy of their respect. One of the most significant ways confidence influences how others treat you is through your interactions with them. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence because they are magnetic. Confidence makes you stand out in a crowd. It makes you someone others want to be around because they feel your energy and your positive presence. It's not about being the loudest or most outspoken person in the room. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and being true to yourself. When you are authentic and unapologetically you, others can sense that sincerity and respond to it with admiration. Confidence also empowers you to set healthy boundaries. When you respect yourself, you are less likely to tolerate mistreatment or allow others to take advantage of you. Instead of seeking approval or validation, you stand firm in your beliefs and values. You recognize that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable, and you are selective about how and with whom you share them. This sense of self-worth is not only empowering for you, but also sets the tone for how others should treat you. People who see that you have confidence in your own boundaries will be less likely to cross them because they will recognize that you won't tolerate disrespect or manipulation. When you lack confidence, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation. You might base your worth on how others perceive you, and you may find yourself constantly trying to please those around you. This need for approval can lead to a cycle of people-pleasing behavior that ultimately leaves you feeling drained and unfulfilled. Confidence, on the other hand, allows you to break free from this cycle. When you are secure in who you are, you no longer feel the need to constantly prove yourself to others. You can simply be yourself, and that authenticity will attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for who you think you need to be. Confidence also plays a significant role in how we handle challenges and setbacks. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when you have confidence in yourself, you are better equipped to handle adversity. You understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but rather an opportunity to learn and grow. People who carry themselves with confidence are more likely to bounce back from failure and face challenges head on, which in turn earns them the respect of others. Others admire resilience, and when you demonstrate it, they begin to see you as someone who is capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving great things. Your level of confidence also influences your ability to communicate effectively with others. When you believe in yourself, you are more likely to express your thoughts, opinions, and ideas with clarity and conviction. People respect those who speak with confidence because it shows that they are sure of what they are saying. On the flip side, when you lack confidence, your words may come across as uncertain or hesitant, and others may not take you as seriously. When you communicate with confidence, you send a message that you are not only worthy of being heard, but also that your ideas and opinions have value. In professional settings, confidence can be a game changer. It can open doors to new opportunities, help you build stronger relationships, and increase your chances of success. When you carry yourself with confidence, you project an image of competence and professionalism. You become someone others trust and rely on, and this trust leads to greater respect. People want to work with those who are confident in their abilities and who have the courage to take on challenges without hesitation. Confidence in the workplace doesn't mean being arrogant or dismissive of others. It means being self-assured, proactive, and willing to take risks. Confidence can also help you attract positive relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who have a healthy sense of self-worth because they bring positive energy into the world. When you believe in yourself, you attract people who also believe in you, and together you create an environment where mutual respect, understanding, and support can thrive. On the other hand, when you lack confidence, you may unintentionally attract people who take advantage of your insecurities or who don't value you as much as you deserve. By developing confidence, you naturally begin to attract people who align with your values and who will treat you with the respect you deserve. Confidence is the key to unlocking a life where people treat you with dignity, respect, and admiration. It's not about being perfect or never experiencing self-doubt. It's about recognizing your worth and stepping into your power. When you carry yourself with confidence, you set the standard for how others should treat you. You no longer need to seek validation from others because you have already validated yourself. The more you embrace your own confidence, the more others will begin to treat you as the incredible person you already know yourself to be. Respect is something that must be earned, not given freely. It is a fundamental truth in every interaction we have with others, whether in personal relationships, professional environments, or casual encounters. The idea that respect must be earned is often misunderstood. It's not just about proving yourself to others, but about demonstrating your worth, your values, and your integrity through consistent actions. Respect is not something that can be demanded, it must be cultivated, and it can only be truly given when it is deserved. To earn respect, you must first understand that it is a reciprocal relationship. Respect is not a one-way street. It involves giving and receiving in equal measure. The way you treat others plays a pivotal role in how they treat you in return. If you expect others to treat you with respect, but do not extend that same respect to them, you are sending mixed signals. People can sense inconsistency, and they are less likely to respect someone who does not practice what they preach. When you show respect for others, you create an environment where mutual respect can thrive, and this fosters healthier, more meaningful relationships. Earning respect begins with self-respect. When you respect yourself, you establish a standard for how others should treat you. It's the foundation of any healthy interaction. People are less likely to disrespect you when they see that you value yourself and have strong boundaries. Self-respect means not tolerating behavior that undermines your dignity. It means standing up for yourself when necessary, expressing your needs and feelings clearly, and taking responsibility for your actions. When you treat yourself with the respect you deserve, others will be more inclined to mirror that behavior. Respect is also earned through consistency. It's not enough to show respect on occasion or when it benefits you. True respect is earned over time through consistent actions. This means following through on your commitments, keeping your word, and behaving with integrity even when no one is watching. People notice consistency. When you are consistent in your behavior, your values, and your actions, others begin to trust you, and trust is a cornerstone of respect. People respect those who are dependable, who do what they say they will do, and who act with honesty and integrity in all situations. Another critical aspect of earning respect is showing empathy and understanding. Respect is not just about adhering to your own standards. It is about recognizing the value in others, appreciating their perspectives, and treating them with kindness and consideration. You earn respect by genuinely listening to others, by acknowledging their feelings and experiences, and by being compassionate in your interactions. Empathy fosters connection, and when people feel seen and heard, they are more likely to treat you with the same respect. Respect is often a reflection of how well you can understand and relate to others. Respect is also earned through courage. The courage to stand up for what is right, to stand up for yourself, and to stand up for others when necessary. It takes courage to uphold your values and principles, especially when they are challenged. It's easy to follow the crowd, to go along with what others want, but true respect is earned when you choose to do what is right, even when it is difficult. When you demonstrate the courage to speak up, to make tough decisions, and to remain steadfast in your beliefs, others respect you for your strength of character. In addition to courage, earning respect requires humility. While it's important to stand firm in your values, it's equally important to recognize that no one has all the answers. Being able to admit when you're wrong, to apologize when necessary, and to be open to feedback are all signs of a person who respects themselves and others. Humility is not about diminishing your worth. It's about being confident enough in yourself to acknowledge that there is always room for growth. People respect those who are humble because it shows that they are not arrogant or self-absorbed, but that they recognize the value of others and are willing to learn from them. In any relationship, respect is earned through patience and understanding. People's actions and behavior are influenced by many factors, including their past experiences, fears, and insecurities. When you take the time to understand where someone is coming from, to listen without judgment, and to offer support when needed, you demonstrate respect for their journey. This doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior or letting others take advantage of you, but it does mean recognizing that respect is not always immediate. It is something that develops over time as trust and understanding grow. Patience is key in earning respect from others, as it allows relationships to deepen and evolve naturally. One of the most powerful ways to earn respect is by leading by example. When you model the behavior you expect from others, you set a standard that others will often follow. If you want respect, show others what respect looks like. Treat others with kindness, honesty, and fairness, and they will see how it feels to be respected. Actions speak louder than words, and when you demonstrate respect through your actions, you inspire others to do the same. People are more likely to respect those who walk the talk, who live according to the values they espouse, and who embody the principles they preach. It's important to note that respect is not something you can demand. You cannot force others to treat you with respect if they are not willing. However, by earning respect through your actions, you increase the likelihood that others will treat you with the same level of respect that you offer them. This is not about controlling others or trying to manipulate their behavior. It's about setting a standard for how you expect to be treated and holding yourself to that same standard. Respect is earned through consistent, genuine actions. It's about showing others that you value them, that you hold yourself to high standards, and that you act with integrity, humility, and courage. When you earn respect, you build trust and deepen your connections with others. This not only improves your relationships, but also creates an environment where respect is naturally reciprocated. Respect is not a one-time thing. It's something that must be cultivated over time. And once you've earned it, you'll find that people will begin to treat you with the admiration and dignity that you truly deserve. When you allow people to treat you poorly, you are essentially granting them permission to disregard your worth. This is one of the most damaging things you can do to yourself, both mentally and emotionally. The treatment you receive from others is often a reflection of how you value yourself and how you set boundaries. If you constantly tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, you are communicating to others that you don't mind being treated this way, which invites more negative behavior from them. People tend to treat us the way we allow them to treat us. Therefore, if you want to be treated with kindness, respect, and fairness, you must first stop tolerating behavior that falls short of those standards. One of the first steps in breaking the cycle of poor treatment is recognizing that you deserve better. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that you don't have the right to ask for better treatment, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that your needs or feelings don't matter. But the truth is that everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their circumstances or the mistakes they may have made in the past. By acknowledging that you are worthy of better treatment, you empower yourself to take action and stop accepting less than what you deserve. Setting boundaries is a crucial part of not allowing people to treat you poorly. Boundaries are not about being rigid or unyielding. They are about protecting your emotional and mental well-being. When you set clear boundaries, you are telling others what behavior is acceptable and what is not. Boundaries are a way of asserting that your feelings, time, and energy are valuable and you are not willing to allow others to treat them with disregard. Setting boundaries may involve saying no to requests that drain you, distancing yourself from toxic people, or standing up for yourself when someone disrespects you. The key is recognizing that you have the right to protect yourself and your peace of mind. Many people find it difficult to set boundaries because they fear rejection or conflict. They worry that by asserting themselves, they will upset others or damage the relationship. However, the reality is that people who truly respect you will appreciate your boundaries. They will understand that you are taking care of yourself, and they will adjust their behavior accordingly. On the other hand, people who disrespect you or try to push your boundaries are showing you that they do not value your needs. It's important to remember that the people who matter most in your life will respect your boundaries, and those who don't are not the kind of people you want to keep around. By tolerating mistreatment, you are holding on to relationships that are draining and unhealthy, preventing yourself from building relationships with people who genuinely care about you and respect your needs. It's also crucial to understand that not every relationship is worth maintaining, especially if it involves constant mistreatment. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from toxic relationships. This could be a friendship, a family dynamic, or even a romantic relationship. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, takes advantage of your kindness, or disregards your feelings, you are under no obligation to continue investing in that relationship. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve your well-being is an act of self-love. It allows you to create space for people who will treat you with the respect you deserve and fosters a healthier, more positive environment in your life. Another key factor in not allowing others to treat you poorly is cultivating self-awareness. Often, we tolerate mistreatment because we are not fully aware of the patterns in our relationships. We may have grown so accustomed to certain behaviors that we no longer see them as problematic. Self-awareness helps you recognize when something is wrong and when it's time to take action. It requires being in tune with your emotions and listening to your intuition. If something feels off or if someone's behavior is consistently hurtful, it's essential to pay attention to those feelings and address the issue. The more aware you are of how others treat you, the better equipped you will be to set boundaries and take control of your relationships. When you stop allowing others to treat you poorly, you also stop engaging in behaviors that enable mistreatment. Often, we inadvertently contribute to our own poor treatment by tolerating certain actions or by not standing up for ourselves. For example, if you constantly make excuses for someone's bad behavior or justify why they treat you poorly, you are enabling them to continue that behavior. Instead of making excuses, take responsibility for your own actions and decisions. Hold yourself accountable for allowing certain behaviors in your life and make a conscious choice to no longer tolerate them. Taking ownership of the situation empowers you to make positive changes and set new standards for how you expect to be treated. It's also important to understand that by not allowing others to treat you poorly, you are teaching them how to treat you. People often test boundaries to see how much they can get away with. If you allow disrespect or mistreatment without addressing it, you are signaling to others that it's acceptable behavior. However, when you stand up for yourself and communicate your expectations clearly, you are teaching people that you will not tolerate poor treatment. This teaches others how to engage with you in a respectful and healthy way. The more you reinforce this behavior, the more likely it is that others will start to treat you with the respect you deserve. Not allowing people to treat you poorly is about reclaiming your personal power. It's about recognizing your worth and taking control of your interactions with others. It's about making the decision that you will no longer settle for less than you deserve, no longer accept mistreatment, and no longer tolerate behavior that drains your energy. By setting boundaries, walking away from toxic relationships, cultivating self-awareness, and taking responsibility for your actions, you create a life where respect, kindness, and love are the standards. You stop allowing others to dictate how you are treated, and instead, you take the reins and create the life and relationships you deserve. One of the most powerful ways to change how others treat you is to stop seeking validation from them. Validation is the act of seeking approval or recognition from others to affirm your worth, and it's something that many people unknowingly rely on to feel good about themselves. However, relying on external validation to feel validated is like giving away your personal power. It creates an endless cycle of dependency where you constantly need others to tell you that you are worthy, attractive, smart, or capable in order to believe it yourself. This cycle not only leaves you vulnerable to others' opinions, but it also leaves you at the mercy of how others perceive you. When you depend on external validation, you essentially hand over control of how you see yourself to those around you. The need for validation often stems from a lack of self-confidence or self-worth. Many people grow up in environments where their value was contingent on external factors, how well they performed, how they looked, or how they compared to others. As a result, they internalize the belief that their worth is determined by the approval of others. However, this external focus on validation leads to insecurity and emotional instability. When your sense of self is based solely on how others perceive you, you will always be at the mercy of their opinions and actions. The moment someone criticizes you or doesn't show you the attention you crave, your sense of self-worth takes a hit. By freeing yourself from the need for validation, you begin to take back control over how you perceive yourself. This shift is transformative because it allows you to stop measuring your value based on others' judgments and opinions. You begin to realize that your worth is not determined by anyone else, but by how you see and value yourself. Self-preannihilation means recognizing your own accomplishments, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and acknowledging your intrinsic worth as a human being. When you can validate yourself internally, you no longer rely on others to tell you that you are good enough or worthy of respect. You know it for yourself. The shift from seeking external validation to self-validation is empowering. It enables you to live authentically and confidently, regardless of how others react to you. People who constantly seek validation are often trapped in a cycle of approval-seeking behavior. They may act in ways that are not true to who they are in order to fit in or be liked by others. This compromises their integrity and often leads to feelings of emptiness because deep down they know they are not living in alignment with their true selves. When you stop seeking validation, you no longer feel the need to change who you are to fit someone else's expectations. You can be unapologetically yourself, and this authenticity is magnetic. It naturally attracts the right kind of people who respect you for who you truly are. Self-regulation also shifts the focus from others to yourself. Instead of looking to others for feedback on how you're doing or whether you're good enough, you learn to look within and trust your own judgment. This allows you to become more self-reliant and independent. When you trust yourself and your abilities, you don't need external approval to feel secure in your decisions. Your confidence stems from within, and this is something that others pick up on. People are naturally drawn to individuals who are self-assured because they exude a quiet strength that doesn't need to be constantly validated by others. Another benefit of self-validation is that it allows you to stop chasing approval from people who may not have your best interests at heart. Many people become trapped in the desire to be liked or accepted by others, even when it means compromising their own values or tolerating mistreatment. When you seek validation from people who don't genuinely care about you, you set yourself up for disappointment and frustration. External validation from such sources is unreliable because it is often conditional and fleeting. However, when you validate yourself, you are no longer dependent on these outside sources for your self-worth. You become more discerning in your relationships, surrounding yourself with people who appreciate you for who you truly are, rather than for what you can do for them or how they can benefit from your validation. The need for validation can lead to unhealthy comparisons with others. People who seek validation are often measuring their worth against the achievements or successes of those around them. This can create feelings of jealousy, inadequacy, or competition. When your sense of self is tied to how you stack up against others, you will always find someone who appears to have more, be more, or do more. This can lead to a constant feeling of dissatisfaction, as there will always be someone you perceive as better than you. Self-commission frees you from this comparison game. It allows you to focus on your own journey, progress, and growth without worrying about how others are doing. You learn to appreciate your unique path and recognize that your worth is not contingent on how you measure up to others. Not seeking validation from others also means that you stop basing your decisions on what will make others approve of you. Often people seek validation by conforming to social norms, expectations, or pressures. They may follow a career path, adopt certain behaviors, or make choices based on what others think is best rather than what feels right for them. This can lead to a life that feels inauthentic or disconnected from your true desires. When you stop seeking validation, you empower yourself to make decisions based on your values, passions, and beliefs rather than on the expectations of others. This leads to greater fulfillment and a deeper sense of purpose because you are living a life that aligns with who you are, not who others want you to be. As you stop seeking validation, you start to recognize that everyone has their own journey and challenges. People who seek validation are often overly concerned with how they are perceived by others, which can cause them to miss the bigger picture of what is truly important. They may become preoccupied with pleasing others at the expense of their own happiness or well-being. By letting go of the need for validation, you can cultivate more empathy and compassion for others. As you begin to understand that their opinions are a reflection of their own experiences, not a reflection of your worth. When you stop seeking validation from others, you become more resilient to criticism. Constructive feedback can be helpful and beneficial for growth, but when your self-worth is tied to the opinions of others, even mild criticism can feel like a personal attack. When you validate yourself, you develop a stronger sense of self that is less shaken by the opinions or judgments of others. You learn to take feedback in stride, using it as an opportunity for growth rather than as a measure of your worth. This shift in mindset allows you to approach life with a sense of inner peace, knowing that you don't need anyone's approval to be confident in who you are. The way you carry yourself, your demeanor, your body language, and your attitude plays a crucial role in how others perceive you. This idea is powerful because it emphasizes that you have control over the way people treat you simply by the way you present yourself, how you walk into a room, how you interact with others, and even the energy you project can either invite respect or invite disrespect. The key to understanding this is realizing that your outward behavior reflects your inner state. If you walk into a room with confidence and self-assurance, people are more likely to treat you with the same confidence and respect. On the other hand, if you exude insecurity or uncertainty, others may respond in a way that reinforces those feelings. The way you present yourself is not just about appearance. It's about your energy, your tone, and the confidence you display. When you carry yourself with a sense of purpose, you send a message to those around you that you are someone who knows their worth. People are naturally drawn to individuals who exude confidence because it signals that the person is grounded, assertive, and secure in who they are. Confidence is magnetic. It draws people in and inspires trust and admiration. It is not about arrogance or superiority, but about the quiet strength that comes from being comfortable in your own skin. To project this confidence, you must first develop a healthy sense of self-esteem. Self-esteem is the foundation of self-respect and is directly related to how others perceive you. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you are not constantly seeking external validation and you do not allow others to define your worth. Instead, you understand that your value comes from within, and you carry that with you into every situation. People pick up on this energy and respond positively to it. When you project a strong sense of self-worth, others are more likely to respect you and treat you with kindness and consideration. Body language is a key component of how you present yourself. Nonverbal cues, such as posture, facial expressions, and gestures, speak volumes about how you feel about yourself and how you expect to be treated. For example, standing tall with your shoulders back and your head held high sends the message that you are confident and self-assured. In contrast, slouching or avoiding eye contact may signal insecurity or a lack of self-respect. When you adopt a posture of confidence, you are not only influencing how others perceive you, but you are also influencing how you feel about yourself. The physical act of standing tall or maintaining good posture can actually boost your self-esteem and make you feel more empowered. Your tone of voice also plays a significant role in how others perceive you. The way you speak, whether you speak with clarity, assertiveness, or hesitation, can either reinforce your authority or undermine it. People who speak with confidence and conviction tend to command respect. They are clear in their communication and are not afraid to express their thoughts and opinions. On the other hand, individuals who speak with uncertainty, who second-guess themselves, or speak in a quiet, meek tone, often struggle to gain respect from others. Your tone of voice communicates to others how seriously they should take you. When you speak assertively and confidently, people are more likely to listen to you and take you seriously. Another important aspect of how you carry yourself is the way you treat others. People are more likely to treat you with respect when you show them respect. Treating others with kindness, consideration, and empathy demonstrates that you value them, and in turn, they are more likely to respect you. The golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, applies here. When you show genuine interest in others, listen to them attentively, and acknowledge their worth, you create an environment where respect is reciprocated. People who treat others with dignity and kindness naturally earn respect, and they attract positive energy in return. The way you carry yourself is also reflected in how you handle conflict or difficult situations. If you maintain your composure in stressful or challenging moments, others are more likely to respect you. People who can stay calm under pressure or remain composed in the face of adversity are seen as strong, capable, and reliable. On the other hand, if you react impulsively, become defensive, or lash out when faced with conflict, others may see you as unstable or immature. Handling conflict with grace and professionalism demonstrates emotional intelligence and self-control, traits that are highly respected by others. When you are consistent in your behavior and actions, others begin to recognize that you are someone they can rely on. Consistency builds trust, and trust is a key element in respect. If you say one thing and do another, or if your behavior is unpredictable, people will have a hard time respecting you. However, when your actions align with your words and when you demonstrate integrity and reliability, you build credibility with others. This credibility fosters respect, as people appreciate those who stand by their commitments and are true to their word. Your mindset also plays a significant role in how you carry yourself and how others perceive you. A positive mindset can transform how you approach life and how you interact with others. When you approach situations with optimism, open-mindedness, and a willingness to learn, people are more likely to respond positively to you. A positive attitude is infectious, and people are drawn to those who exude positivity and resilience. On the other hand, a negative or pessimistic attitude can repel others and make it difficult for them to respect you. People tend to respect individuals who approach life with a growth mindset, who view challenges as opportunities, and who are able to maintain a positive outlook, even in difficult circumstances. Another aspect of how you carry yourself is your ability to communicate effectively. People who are skilled communicators tend to command more respect because they are able to articulate their thoughts clearly and persuasively. Good communication involves not only expressing your ideas, but also listening actively to others. When you listen attentively and respond thoughtfully, you demonstrate that you value others' perspectives, which in turn earns their respect. Effective communication also includes the ability to express yourself assertively without being aggressive and to maintain a respectful tone in all interactions. Being a clear, assertive communicator enhances your ability to gain respect and ensures that others take you seriously. In the end, how you carry yourself is a reflection of how much you respect yourself and how confident you are in your own abilities. When you project self-assurance, kindness, and integrity, people are naturally inclined to treat you with respect. Your demeanor, body language, tone of voice, and communication style all contribute to the impression you make on others. By being mindful of how you carry yourself, you can create an environment where respect is not only given, but is also naturally reciprocated. One of the most profound ways to change how people treat you is to stop reacting to them in a way that allows their behavior to dictate your emotional state. Many of us unknowingly give others the power to control our feelings through our reactions. When someone says something hurtful, behaves in an inconsiderate way, or disrespects us, our immediate response is often one of emotional reactivity. This might involve becoming angry, defensive, upset, or even withdrawn. However, the key to breaking the cycle and changing how others treat you lies in learning to control your responses to external events and people. By doing so, you create a space between what happens and how you choose to react, allowing you to maintain control over your emotions and not let others dictate your emotional state. Emotional reactivity is a natural human response, but it can be incredibly disempowering. When you react to others based on their behavior, you are allowing them to dictate how you feel. If someone disrespects you and you react by becoming angry or upset, you are giving that person the power to upset you. Conversely, if someone praises you or affirms you and you feel elated as a result, you are allowing their approval to determine your happiness. This creates an emotional roller coaster where your mood and emotional well-being are constantly dependent on the actions or words of others. The key to regaining control over your emotions is to stop allowing others' actions to dictate how you feel. To break free from this cycle, you must first cultivate awareness of your emotional triggers. This means becoming conscious of the situations, behaviors, or words that typically elicit a strong emotional reaction from you. Perhaps a certain tone of voice or a particular way of speaking triggers anger, or maybe a certain behavior triggers feelings of frustration or disappointment. Once you identify these triggers, you can begin to practice self-control and detach your emotional responses from the actions of others. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings. Rather, it means choosing how to respond to them in a way that is intentional and aligned with your values. When you stop reacting impulsively to others, you regain the power to choose how you respond. Instead of being at the mercy of someone else's behavior, you are able to pause, reflect, and decide how you want to engage with the situation. For example, if someone insults you, instead of immediately reacting with anger or hurt, you can take a moment to breathe and assess the situation. You might choose to calmly express that you don't appreciate the comment, or you might decide to simply let it go and not allow it to affect you. By doing this, you maintain control over your emotional state, and you don't give the other person the power to dictate how you feel. Learning to control your reactions also involves managing your expectations. Often we expect certain behaviors from people, and when they don't meet those expectations, we become upset. We may expect our friends or family to always be supportive, our coworkers to always be respectful, or our partners to always treat us with love and consideration. When these expectations aren't met, we can easily become disappointed or frustrated. However, by shifting our mindset to a more realistic perspective, we can free ourselves from the emotional toll of unmet expectations. People are imperfect, and they will inevitably disappoint us at times. By accepting this fact, we reduce the emotional impact of their actions on us. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration when someone lets us down, we can choose to respond with understanding, compassion, or even detachment. In addition to managing expectations, emotional control requires developing a sense of emotional resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and difficult situations, but how you respond to these challenges will determine the quality of your life. People who react impulsively to adversity tend to feel overwhelmed, helpless, or stressed, while those who cultivate emotional resilience are better able to navigate difficult situations with grace and calm. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks without letting them define you. It involves staying centered even when life feels chaotic and maintaining a sense of inner peace regardless of external circumstances. The more emotionally resilient you become, the less likely you are to allow others' behavior to disrupt your emotional state. When you stop reacting impulsively, you also stop feeding into negative cycles of conflict. Often when someone behaves poorly or treats us disrespectfully, our natural instinct is to defend ourselves or retaliate. This can escalate the situation, leading to further conflict and negative energy. However, when you choose not to react to negative behavior, you break the cycle. By refusing to engage in emotional reactivity, you stop fueling the situation and prevent it from escalating. Instead of feeding into anger or resentment, you create space for more positive and constructive interactions. People will begin to notice that you are unshakable in your responses, and they may begin to treat you with more respect and consideration because they see that you are not easily influenced by their actions. In addition to breaking the cycle of negative interactions, not reacting allows you to maintain a sense of peace and stability in your life. Emotional reactivity can be exhausting. Constantly reacting to external events drains your energy and leaves you feeling depleted. When you choose to respond mindfully and with intention, you preserve your emotional energy and create a more peaceful internal environment. This inner peace radiates outward, and others begin to notice your calm demeanor and steady presence. As a result, they are more likely to treat you with the same calm and respect that you exhibit. The ability to stop reacting and choose how you respond is also a powerful tool for self-empowerment. It allows you to take control of your emotional state and break free from the limitations that emotional reactivity imposes on you. When you react impulsively, you give away your power to others. You allow them to control how you feel and how you experience life. But when you choose to respond thoughtfully and consciously, You take back that power. You are no longer a passive participant in your emotional experiences. Instead, you become an active creator of your emotional reality. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating because it means that your emotional well-being is no longer dependent on others. You are free to cultivate peace, joy, and stability within yourself, regardless of the actions of those around you. Learning to stop reacting to others is one of the most effective ways to change how people treat you. By taking control of your emotional responses, you create a new dynamic in your interactions. You no longer allow others' behaviors to dictate your emotional state. Instead, you choose how to respond, maintaining your inner peace and self-respect. This transformation not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also influences how others engage with you, fostering respect and understanding in your relationships. The way you treat others has a powerful impact on how they treat you in return. This is a simple yet profound truth that is often overlooked. When you show kindness, respect, and genuine consideration toward others, you create an environment where those same qualities are reflected back to you. People respond to the energy they receive from you, and when you offer positivity, respect, and understanding, you set the tone for how they interact with you. The principle that how you treat others determines how they will treat you is not just about social niceties or politeness, but about the deeper, more authentic connections that you create through your actions and attitudes. The concept begins with understanding that respect is not something that can be demanded. It is something that must be earned through consistent behavior. If you want to be treated with respect, you must first extend respect to others. This doesn't mean that you should expect something in return or give to others with the sole intention of receiving something back. Instead, it is about cultivating an attitude of respect and kindness, knowing that when you treat others well, it naturally fosters an environment where respect is reciprocal. Whether it's in the workplace, with friends, or in your family, people are more inclined to show you the same level of courtesy and respect you demonstrate toward them. At the core of this dynamic is the golden rule: treat others as you wish to be treated. When you make this a fundamental part of how you approach your relationships and interactions, you begin to see a shift in how people respond to you. For instance, when you are considerate of someone's time, effort, or feelings, they are more likely to show that same consideration toward you. When you listen actively to someone, acknowledging their thoughts and feelings, they are more likely to engage with you in a meaningful way. By offering respect, attentiveness, and kindness, you create a space for positive interactions to thrive. Your actions speak louder than words, and people are often more responsive to what you do than what you say. The way you treat others can have a lasting impact, even if your words don't explicitly demand anything in return. A simple act of kindness, like helping someone with a task or offering a sincere compliment, can open the door for deeper connections and build trust between you and others. Trust is a foundational element of respect. When people see that you are reliable, that your actions align with your values, and that you treat them with the dignity they deserve, they begin to trust you more. This trust then forms the basis for a relationship where respect is mutual and freely given. It's important to recognize that treating others well isn't always easy, especially in difficult situations. There may be moments when someone disrespects you, challenges your authority, or behaves in a way that tests your patience. In these instances, the temptation to react defensively or to retaliate can be strong. But here lies the true test. When you choose to remain calm, patient, and understanding, even in the face of adversity, you elevate the quality of the interaction. By refusing to mirror negative behavior with more negativity, you break the cycle of conflict. Instead, you can choose to respond with empathy and composure, which not only diffuses tension, but also earns you the respect of others. A key part of this process is recognizing that respect is not always automatic or immediate. Some people may not instantly respond positively to your kindness or respectful behavior, especially if they are accustomed to being treated poorly or if they are struggling with their own issues. In such cases, it may take time for them to recognize your consistent behavior and for them to start treating you differently. The key here is patience and consistency. Even if others do not immediately reciprocate the respect you extend, By consistently treating them with kindness and empathy, you are planting the seeds for future positive interactions. This principle also extends to how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself sets the foundation for how others will treat you. When you show yourself respect by setting healthy boundaries, valuing your time and energy, and prioritizing your well-being, you set a clear standard for how others should treat you. People who respect themselves are less likely to tolerate mistreatment from others, and their self-respect naturally attracts the respect of those around them. In contrast, if you allow others to disrespect you or take advantage of you, it signals to others that you do not value yourself, and they are likely to treat you in a similar manner. The way you treat yourself serves as a reflection of the standards you set for others. In addition to respect, kindness is another key factor in how people treat you. Kindness is a universal language that transcends differences and creates connections between people. When you show genuine kindness to others, it often disarms any potential negativity and encourages people to respond in a positive way. Kindness can come in many forms, whether it's offering a helping hand, listening attentively, or simply sharing a smile. These small acts of kindness make a big difference in how people perceive you. They show that you are approachable, compassionate, and considerate, which naturally invites respect and positive treatment in return. Another important aspect is the role of emotional intelligence in how you treat others. People with high emotional intelligence are able to understand and manage their emotions in a way that fosters positive interactions. They are attuned to the emotions of others and respond in ways that are sensitive and appropriate. By practicing emotional intelligence, such as being empathetic, patient, and aware of the emotional dynamics at play, you create an environment where others feel understood, respected, and valued. This emotional connection makes people more likely to treat you with the same understanding and respect. The way you treat others also has a ripple effect. When you demonstrate kindness and respect to one person, that individual is more likely to treat others in the same way. Positive behavior spreads and can lead to a culture of respect, not just within your immediate circle, but in the broader environment. Whether it's in the workplace, within your family, or in your community, the way you interact with others sets an example for how people should treat one another. By embodying respect and kindness, you contribute to a positive cycle of mutual respect that elevates the collective atmosphere and encourages others to follow suit. At the end of the day, the way you treat others is the key to transforming how they treat you. It may take time, consistency, and patience, but by embodying respect, kindness, and emotional intelligence, you create an environment where people naturally reflect those same qualities back to you. By focusing on how you interact with others and making a conscious effort to treat them with care and consideration, you set the stage for deeper, more meaningful relationships built on mutual respect and understanding.